YouTube. Today's hot topic, we're discussing some of the Nevada laws and why you shouldn't be voting for these particular laws and so on and so forth. I will be giving my own testimony, my own experience, and by the glory of God, how He brought me to my cross and so on and so forth. And let's get started, guys. And sadly, I do have propaganda. Ain't it miss and crazy? Anyway, so one of the things that I received was this. I don't know if y'all can see. It says, when criminals strike, question 1 protects the rights of victims. Man, don't even get me started. So let me give you guys my testimony, and then we'll carry on about this. So I was raped and basically tormented for half of the year in 2015. I was not only abused, I was being harassed by the family and his individuals and all that other stuff. Of course, I did the honorable thing. I filed a police report, and I was contacted to take my report. And then also I was told to contact the Rape Crisis Center so that we could have him prosecuted and go to court and so on and so forth. The lieutenant at that time had requested for me to go down to the command center, and they wanted to live record me on camera, which at that point I was not psychologically or emotionally prepared to do any of that, as is any abused victim. So, excuse me, I'm on my couch, guys, sorry about that. So he kept on continuously trying to badger me and bully me, actually, into going down, and I refused every single time, because I just couldn't, I wasn't ready for that. And so I then called the Rape Crisis Center. When I called the Rape Crisis Center, this is what the government's giving funding to which I say personally, and to every other rape victim who has ever gone through something like this, we all don't believe that they need to even be existing, or much less even be getting that funding. Let me explain to you why I say that. Okay, let's get diving in deep. I called them. The day that I called them, I was passed to a young lady by the name of Cynthia, to whom she asked what had happened to me. Or I was drugged, I was put in a coma, I was nearly murdered and raped, and she thought that was pretty hilarious, and she put me on hold for a long time while she looked for a court interpreter to aid me into having this gentleman who abused me prosecuted. Well, when that lady came on the phone, she also thought it was hilarious and so on and so forth, which emotionally, that pissed me off, and it put me in, I was just bawling, I was crying, I was unconsolable. Nothing that my husband did or said, nothing that my kids would do or say wouldn't make me smile, it wouldn't make me laugh. I was just in a dark place at that point in my life. Emma, he wants that with a plate open. I fell into a very deep anger because of that. I built up, so much bad feelings, and that's why I say women who are raped or abused, we don't need the Rape Crisis Center, because if they're gonna mock us when we go through stuff that is that severe, they ain't got no business being open at all. And let's dive into the propaganda that was put in my mailbox, which personally infuriates me, because they're talking about this shit. And I will look you in the face and tell you Rape Crisis Center does not need to get taxpayer money. They do not need to be open. And not just myself, but I'm sure there are other rape victims out there in the city of Las Vegas who will tell you the exact same. And I just ask that you honorable women come forward and share your testimonies and not get mocked by the fake media. So let's dive into this. This should be so much fun. Check this out. I know y'all can read that very clear as day. It says, when criminals strike, question 1 protects the Rights of victims. Let's get deep. In Nevada, over 20,000 violent crimes took place in 2016. That was 1 year after the fact. Okay? Assault, rape, murder, and domestic violence. They are putting this in a very generalized clause. They are not specifically talking about rape. They're not talking about death by murder. They're not even just exclusively talking about domestic violence and the things and how it affects people. It says, it could happen to you. Look. Okay. I need to take a drink to that. And it says, question one strengthens Nevada's constitution by allowing victims to receive. Listen to this because I just made a comment about my own testimony, okay? Question one strengthens Nevada's constitution by allowing victims to receive notification from the court and have a voice in the process. I'm sorry to say that there are a multitude of women who have been raped and domestically abused who will tell you that Nevada is doing the opposite of what it's trying to say that it's doing. Victims will receive the following. Victims receive the following. Pre-trial hearing. That's the first one, right? It says trial proceeding. That's this one. Sentencing and proceeding. That's the third. Parole, hearing, and release or escape. Does anybody want to explain that one to me? Because that should be pretty interesting. If you're a crime victim, question one changes everything. No, it fucking doesn't. And I hate to break it, but guess what? This is just another plague, a great plague, to get more taxpayer money. Just like we need to shut down Child Protective Services and the CDC, we also need to abolish this trash. Because we would be putting trillions of dollars where it belongs if we put this out of business. If we put CPS and the freaking the other people, the Centers for Disease Control, you're like, oh shit, who will we run to? We don't need them because they've been lying to us for centuries, you guys. And then it says, this is my favorite part, guys. Look, read this. To the Gallegos family. What bigger bullshit could this be? That's such a fucking insult. I wish I had a lighter so that I could light this piece of trash on fire and never fucking have to see this shit again. Okay, now, let's carry on to this next piece of bullshit propaganda. It is on the same issue, question number 1. It says, and this one is talking about a famous person. You see this ugly ass face? There you go. Hold on, let me open it up for you. It says, and this one's kind of big, so please bear with me. It says, he found out through the national iniquitor. It seemed like a cruel joke. 6 years later, his sister was raped and murdered. In his sister's case, Kelsey has been allowed a voice in the parole hearing of her killers. They remain in prison to this day. But that's not always true in Nevada. Question 1 gives crime victims and their families voice in the process and the rights they deserve. You can change the lives of crime victims and their families. The biggest fucking bullshit I have ever heard in a century, and if not less. This and this. We the people have to put this tyranny to an end. We have to stop funding these bastards so that they get with the freaking program. And why you are asking, I am getting so pissed off because I was a victim myself. Okay? I fell into such a deep depression that I could not leave my home. Okay? Yes, it was that bad. And it eventually got to a point where I just wanted to end my life. But right in that moment, right in that very second, God blessed me in a way that I couldn't imagine. He came down to me and he told me, he gave me a revelation that whoever committed these atrocities towards me will pay the ultimate price. Because while he may be physically alive in the flesh, when he dies, he will not be coming back a second time for what he has caused me and my family. And that's not even the half of it. And yes, I am still angry. By God's glory and grace, I was able to forgive and let go, but it's never gonna leave my heart. It's something that is never gonna leave my head, no matter what I do. And I want rape victims all across Nevada to know that we have the power to end these lying, degenerate, freaking scumbags who just are looking for more money off of the people. We, the people, have the power. We must end these people for the tyranny they are trying to cause the women and children of this state. Because it's not just women. Abuse happens to everybody of all ages. Believe me when I tell you this. We have the power to end this. How many more people are going to be raped, murdered, domestically abused before a group of individuals comes forward to do something? And let me make it loud and clear. I was blessed because the Father sought me and didn't stop till he took away all my sadness. He took away all my pain. He took away everything and anything I had ever been going through. And I am so grateful to God because of the Father, because of his love and his mercy and kindness and grace that he had for me. I am alive to share my testimony and to put an end to these scumbag, corrupt liars who are running the system in Nevada. And I will be lobbying against them. And I am not afraid, and I am not ashamed to tell them or to share my testimony. Anyways, we need to change this now. Just like we cannot afford to have Judge Harder in the judge. Just like we cannot afford to have this other judge, Marquise, sitting on the honorable bench. We have to have them discharged and put out because they are abusing and holding our children hostage and unjustly kidnapping them from healthy parents. We cannot stand for this tyranny any longer. Nevada cannot wait anymore. We need parents who are not afraid to go forwards. Parents who will stand up to these bullies who are in office. And guess what? I am one of them because I am sick of the way they have not given me justice. I am sick of the way they have countlessly harassed me. And I will not stand for it anymore. Anyways, I'm going to go before I get mad because my ulcers are messed up anyway, so I can't afford to get further angry. Anyways, I love you all, my fellow YouTubers, for watching, and this brown girl is out.